Welcome to my capstone. My name is Angeline Huang, and this is what I look like. So, a little intro to me. I've been learning piano since I was 4 years old, and the purpose of my capstone is to compose healing piano songs for the community. My capstone strands are research and experiment as well as project. And the reason I picked my capstone strands are because I find lots of joy in creating, and I'm also an extrovert. That's my personality trait, and I love to explore through one-on-one interactions with people. I chose my capstone project as I wanted to contribute to the community through my passion, which is music. I got the idea when volunteering at Senior Homes Weekly as a piano performer, and I wondered what more I could do for them. What influenced me was my future career as a piano teacher, and people that influenced me were the children I teach because whatever chaos they were up to always turned calm at the presence of music. My mentor is Mr. Micklin, and he is our school's music director, and he's composed many songs for graduation ceremonies as well as Remembrance Day. So here's us together, and throughout the capstone project, my mentor provided lots of suggestions as he is the music expert, and we basically just brainstormed a lot together for ideas on how to apply the seniors' feedback. He also gave me lots of emotional support when I needed it. As I wrote 2 songs, I kind of developed a 3-step process for each piece. So first, I would always go to Mr. Micklin and discuss with him and get some advice from him. Then I would go on to composition, where I got my creative juices flowing. Then lastly, I will go to the actual performance and share the music with the community senior homes. So my first song is called Fireplace, and the vibes I kind of want to create were heartwarming, calming, and delicate like the name suggests. So my past courses were, I did lots of exams in the Royal Conservatory of Music, and I am ARCC, which is the level after level 10 in all of these categories. And this is the raw music score of my first composition, so let's zoom in. And I will also be talking about what I learned on my own throughout this process. So first, let's zoom into line 2. I added something called the pentatonic scale, which is something I learned in my history exams. Basically, it's often heard in Chinese music, and I learned that it brings cultural significance, which can make some people feel more relaxed and at home. Next, let's zoom into line 3, and I shifted the melody to the bass clef. This is something I learned in my harmony analysis exam, and a deeper melodic line will symbolize the heart getting cozier as it's healing. And in line 4, I added something called cross rhythm, which I learned in my harmony counterpoint as well as piano exams. So this is basically just adding complexity to the music, as I believe that relaxing music doesn't mean that it has to be simple. An obstacle that I faced was that the apps for writing music were very expensive. So I had to write down each note physically with pencil and paper, and this caused lots of muscle pain and hand cramps. I overcame this by going on YouTube and searching some stretching exercises that could help ease the tension, and I also knew when it was appropriate to take breaks and also stay hydrated as well as eat nutritious snacks to fuel up all my energy. Through this, I learned that my well-being consists of my mental and physical health, and I should be attentive to both. Here's my senior home performance. So what I learned from the audience after conducting an interview. So senior number 1 said, "Oh, I know, maybe try making some places a little bit louder and some places softer." So this showed me that relaxation doesn't always have to be quiet. There can be changes in the volume as well. Senior number 2 said, "Thank you for the great song. Could you play slower next time so I can enjoy every part of it?" This taught me that playing fast, although I thought initially it would be more interesting, can actually prevent the audience from savoring the music. And senior 3 said, "Since you wrote a joyful song, why don't you try writing a sad song next time so people who feel down can resonate with it?" Through this, I learned that embracing angst and agony is an important way to heal as well. After this, I had some questions. So number 1 is, how do I add volume changes to my music without accidentally going overboard or disrupting the overall peacefulness? Number 2 is, how do I sound slower without having the music be choppy or boring? Number 3, how do I showcase the sadness in my piece without making it too depressing or lifeless? All my questions were answered throughout the semester, especially after mentor logs 2 and 3, as I got a lot of feedback and spent time experimenting it in my composition. So my new questions are, how can I share my music to a broader audience in the community beyond just the senior homes? And number 2, to what extent will me composing more wide range of songs touch even more hearts? Because I believe that each person's perception on healing is different. My second song is entitled Summer Rain, and the vibes I want to create for this one was hope, relaxation, and embrace of vulnerability. Here is the final composition's raw music score, where I applied all the feedback but with my own creative twist. For obstacles, at the specific senior home I performed the song at, they didn't allow filming and I was unaware of it, so I unintentionally went against one of their privacy regulations, and I could tell the staff were panicking by the looks of their faces. I overcame this by staying calm and collected, and I resolved the conflict simply just by listening. I didn't beg for them to let me film, and I didn't do it in secret either. I just obeyed, and this really shows the impact of respect and communication. As for core competencies, my capstone touched on communication, which is evident from the interviews I conducted with the community seniors as well as my interaction with staff, and also when I obtained feedback with my mentor. Next is creative thinking, as I had to compose original music, whereas normally I would play a piece written by a classical composer. This is beneficial in my future as a piano teacher for children, as communication can ensure that the students understand the materials I'm teaching them. And for creative thinking, since every child has their own unique learning style, I can be able to approach it creatively. I learned the new skill of being able to write down what I had improvised. So sometimes I would like to do freestyle, and then I only ever play it once and I forget about the melody and it's gone and lost forever. But now I can actually notate it down and play it next time. I'm really proud of how I'm training to use my perfect pitch to my advantage. Here's my senior home performance, and these are the pictures since I wasn't allowed to take videos, but I did refilm it at school. For the final feedback, Senior 1 expressed that they really loved the melody and it made them feel peaceful. I was really happy because the word peaceful correlates perfectly with the purpose of my capstone. And for Senior 2, she said, "What a wonderful performance. I felt very warm on the inside after listening. It reminded me of home." My music had lots of impact on others because I received lots of positive reactions, which gave me reassurance. And I also saw lovely smiles from the seniors. My secret to time management is to use apps to make sure I'm staying productive and tracking how long I'm spending on each task. And I'm also following my capstone timeline very diligently. For the final reflection, my aha moment was that writing each notes by hand, although it's very exhausting, made the piece more personal and intimate. And I'm proud about how the seniors closed their eyes to enjoy the music, not because they were sleeping, but because they were immersed and indulged. As the project required lots of trial and error to complete, I learned the transferable skills of patience and perseverance. So as long as you keep trying, results will come and hardships will be overcome, even if it's slow. And this works like magic, so I'll definitely remember this in my life, from my academics, which is university coming up, to my friendships. Thank you for listening.